It's the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill. Now here's your hosts, Tom Hatfield and Joe Nienow.
Welcome to the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and
Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill.
Just Joe, straight Joe today. Well, Joe, here we are, week number 5. 5 teams remain at 4-0. You have the Broncos, the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Saints, and the Seahawks. Put you on the spot right off the bat. I want you to rank them 1 through 5. Who's your top team in the NFL right now?
My top team in the NFL right now is the Seahawks.
All right.
Number 2 would have to be the Broncos.
Okay.
Number 3 would have to be Kansas City. Number 4 would have to be the Aints. And then number 5 would be
the Patriots. Then.
The Patriots.
There you go. Okay. Agree, disagree? Go to our Facebook page. Let us know. Let us know on Facebook. Go Facebook/The Fantasy King. So there you go. Let Joe know. Anyway, let's take a short break and we'll get right into week number 5. You're watching the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and
for those who this annoys you, Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill.
There must be somebody out there. We'll be right back.
Go big with Polito's Big Slice. Polito's Pizza has been family owned and operated since 2007. With 32 specialty pizzas to choose from, Polito's has your slice. Locations in Stevens Point, Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids, Rothschild, Oshkosh, La Crosse, Green Bay, and De Pere. Whether it's a pregame meal or a halftime snack, make it Polito's. Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice.
On game day, stop down at Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill. Watch the NFL ticket on one of 12 big screen TVs, plus enjoy free brats during Packer games and free wings during Monday Night Football. Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill, cold beer and warm company. Located off Interstate 39 and County Road NN, right next to Subway. Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill. Come on down to Post Road Pub. Your NFL, Major League Baseball, and NASCAR headquarters, plus a whole lot more. Darts, pool, shuffleboard, foosball, and a whole lot of fun. Follow Post Road Pub on Facebook. Post Road Pub, 1211 Post Road in Plover, 715-344-9800.
At the Post Road Pub!
I'm the king.
I am the king.
I'm the king.
I am the king.
No, I'm the king. Hi, I'm Tom Hatfield. Join myself and Joe Nienow every Sunday for the Fantasy King Sports Hour.
Every week we'll take a look at the NFL and help you with your fantasy football action.
We'll have our own fantasy contest, trivia questions, and a whole lot of fun.
Don't forget our weekly high school football fantasy kings.
Plus, you'll never know who might run by.
Are you going to be this week's fantasy king?
Welcome back to the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and
Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill.
Here we go, Joe. And week number 4, you didn't get to watch the Packers. You watch some other games for us?
I did. I watched several games.
Did you watch one game in London?
No, I did not. But you know what? I was bouncing back and forth. I might have caught a little bit of it.
See Gene Simmons sing the national anthem at least?
I did not see that.
Okay. Well, which games did you watch, and which do you have some notes on for us?
The games that I did watch were the Philly versus Denver game and the Patriots versus the Falcons. There's a little side spin I got going with this, but obviously we know how they turned out. Denver just rolled all over Philly, and the Patriots eked one out over the Falcons. The big thing with this is we got 2 old quarterbacks going here. Manning and Brady. And Manning just showed it. 28 of 34, 327 yards, 9.6 yard per completion average, 0 interceptions.
As always.
And hasn't had one yet this year. And he was only sacked 1 time. Vic, 14 on the other side of the things. Vic was 14 of 27, barely over 500, 248 yards, comparable yards per completion, 9.2. He was sacked 3 out of 13 times. No touchdowns, no INTs. But the big thing here is in this game, is if you watch Peyton Manning, he's in a unique class amongst, I would say, maybe 8, 10 quarterbacks historically where they know where they're going before they even snap the ball. They run in traditional terms, a quarterback is taught to go through his progressions. You go to your one receiver first, your two receiver, your three, your four, and you check down that way. There are very few, like I said, probably 8, maybe 10 quarterbacks in history that know they're not even going to look at the first guy or the second guy. They're going to the fourth guy right off the bat.
Well, and they're going to, they might look at that one too, but they know he's not throwing it there.
Right.
It's what they said. They say Manning goes up to the line of scrimmage and has you beat before he snaps the ball.
Absolutely.
He looks at the defense and he's got it.
And
safety's back. They run the ball.
And that's why they rolled over Philly the way they did. Although, Denver gave up some yardage in this game. I mean, they weren't just, a pushover, even though the points appeared that way. They held them close for the first quarter. But then, third quarter, they just rolled it all. I mean, they ran up 30 or 21 points in the third quarter. I don't know if this Chip Kelly offense is going to work in the NFL. They're 1-2 now.
Well, the thing with that is, though, he has to get his own players there. But
that's true.
But when you only have 51 or 45-year-old players there, you can't rotate them.
In every level of ball before the NFL, speed kills. It does, but not to the same extent in the NFL because everyone's fast. So those dashing players like Chip Kelly had over there for years, of course, I mean, you guys got running high 4.2s and 4.3s, but they're running away from guys that are running 4.6s and 4.7s.
And they have 90 guys compared to it. So they can keep rotating them in and keep them fresh. You can't do that in the NFL. No, you don't have the rosters.
So in my second game, it's the Patriots versus the Falcons. The Falcons, I thought, would put up a little more fight here, but the Patriots seem to get it together this year, or this game. Brady went 20 of 31, 316 yards, 10.2 average, 2 touchdowns. Ryan 34 of 54, 421 yards in a losing effort, 7.8 yard average, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked twice. Here's another quarterback that we have in the NFL that can still do this. He can beat you because, if you didn't notice in this game, there are 2 guys, receivers, that are complete unknowns.
Oh, exactly.
Complete unknowns.
That's what Brady constantly does.
Because he knows that he can go to that third receiver right away. And that's one thing I think about Aaron Rodgers. He has not acquired that ability yet. I think Aaron Rodgers goes through his progression no matter what. And I don't know if they're coaching that or not. Brett Favre was great at this too. I mean, he knew where he was going with the ball. I mean, and even if he had pressure, Brett Favre would get rushed. He was famous for that pump fake.
Oh, sure.
And he was already scrambling, but he would step under the guy in the air, and what would he do with the ball immediately? Throw it to a receiver.
Exactly. Whether it was a shovel underhanded or whatever.
He knew that he didn't get a reset of the clock at 3.2 seconds. So you see these quarterbacks that make them elite. What I think makes them not elite, I mean above and beyond elite. There's the elite quarterbacks, but there's probably about 40.
The goats, the greatest of all time.
Yes, there you go, you got it. And then you have these guys that are just, the creme de la creme. And, Brady's one, Manning's one, and right now playing in the NFL. Rivers might be one.
Drew Brees, definitely.
But they're rare, and that's their ability to see. All right, I got a linebacker cheating over here and a corner cheating up here. Well, that's my number 1 receiver. I'm not even going to go over there. I might look over there to look him off, but I know my 3 guy is going to be open over
exactly,
there, and he'll go there or whatever.
Well, let's take a look at the creme de la creme of week number 4 overall. Our top performers. Well, a couple of those guys that you just got done mentioning. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning right up there. Unbelievable the completion percentages these guys. Brees, 30 of 39. Manning, 28 of 34. And the other guy I've listed, Phillip Rivers, who went 35 of 42. Brees, 413 yards, 4 touchdowns. Rivers, 401 with 3 touchdowns. And Manning, 327 and 4 other touchdowns. Top running backs, Adrian Peterson gets it done over across the pond, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. Frank Gore, 153 yards, led all rushing and yardage. Reggie Bush, 139 yards, also 34 yards receiving.
Bit of a resurrection of a career over there.
And then Darren Sproles, maybe not known as the running back, but he had 4 carries, 28 yards rushing, 1 touchdown, but 7 catches and 114 yards and another touchdown there. And that is the difference in football right now.
Absolutely. He is the one. No one's even close to what he's doing.
Exactly. He's been outstanding. A couple receivers. Torrey Smith, Baltimore, has a big game. 5 catches, 166 yards, and a touchdown. Nate Washington of Tennessee makes the best out of his 4 catches. Goes for 105 yards and 2 scores. And Victor Cruz did a little salsa dancing in a losing effort. 10 catches, 164 yards, and a touchdown.
Until you get a win, Victor,
Quit dancing.
you might want to put the dance away.
All right. Tight ends, big performers this week. Tony Gonzalez, 12 catches, 149 yards, 2 scores. Jimmy Graham, only 4 catches, but he got to the 100-yard mark again. He scores twice. And Antonio Gates, 10 catches. Another old guy, 136 yards and a touchdown. As for Cold, well, if you had Joe Flacco on your fantasy team, you might have got a few points because he did have 347 yards and 2 touchdowns, but the 5 interceptions took away from some of those stats. Just 25 of 50. That 50%, you can't do that in the NFL.
How much a team can turn from one year to the next.
You know, back in the 70s, if you had a 50% completion percentage is one thing, but not in this game anymore.
Chance to chance.
Russell Wilson was only 12 of 23. Houston gave him a hard time, 123 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, but he ran the ball. 77 yards rushing.
It's amazing what can happen when you run your quarterback a little bit.
And it was a different game in the second half. Running back Darrell Richardson for St. Louis. The Rams cannot run the football right now. 12 carries, 16 yards. And then Ray Rice, he's not 100%. He had 5 carries, 17 yards, no catches. Bad receivers, Sidney Rice of Seattle, 1 catch, 11 yards. Santana Moss, no catches. Also his teammate Fred Davis, the tight end out of Washington, with no catches. So there's your cold players also.
Yes.
Let's get now to our awards segment and get to our Jim Kreshak Jewelers Gem of the Week. Jim Kreshak Jewelers has been your diamond jewelry and jewelry repair expert since 1962 here in the Wausau area. Check them out at 3808 Rib Mountain Drive in Wausau.
Great jewelry.
And Joe?
New manager there now.
Yeah. We lost.
Tim is gone. The voice is gone.
But still,
My gem of the week.
Still some great stuff. So make sure you check it out.
My gem of the week is Brian Hoyer. Cleveland stepping in, making a difference last 2 games.
Yes.
This week he was 32 of 37, 374 yards and 3 touchdowns. And a Cincinnati team that had just beaten the Packers, and Andy Dalton came out like it was Dalton Andrews. Completely different player. I don't know, sometimes you wonder how these guys can go on such roller coaster rides from week in and week out, but that just lends the credibility to what the NFL's, to be able to do that.
I hate to jump on Brian Hoyer's bandwagon, but it's kind of like when Tom Brady took over for Drew Bledsoe. That team was terrible, and all of a sudden it turned around. I don't know if it's going to be that much for Cleveland, but who knows? We'll see, exactly. My gem of the week. All right, my gem of the week this week, I'm going with Minnesota running back Adrian Peterson. Came up with a big performance. Well, hey, I got to mention it one time. We got to win. We got to win, exactly. He had a big run there, 140 yards total, 2 touchdowns, getting it done. So there you go. And
different oxygen over there, I think.
Is that what it is? I don't know. Hey, Joe, we have a new leader in our fantasy contest. Somebody else is the king. I got an actual win this week against you.
Exactly. You rode the back of the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly. Romo and Bryant. Well, you basically you did.
Andy Dalton did me in.
There you go. All right. Anyway, you can always join us. Get in our fantasy contest each week by going to www.fantasy911.com. You play, you register, you can win each week. Weekly contest. Yes, and do both of it. It's a lot of fun. Weekly contest, cash prizes, top 9 prizes, get cash each and every week. So check that out. But let's take a short break. We'll come back. Let's start talking about week number 5.
Yes. And I got some comments about this. Sir.
All right. You're watching the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and
Bojo Sports Bar and Grill.
We'll be right back.
There's a saying that goes like this: a smart man marries a smarter woman. That's right. Now, why do you want to marry a smarter woman? Well, of course, the reasons are obvious. She's so smart, she sees your heart better than anyone ever has. She's so smart, she knows how committed you really are. Yes, she's so smart, she sees how much you love her, even when it's hard sometimes for you to find the words. And not only does a smart man marry a smarter woman, well, that smart man buys her an engagement ring from Jim Kreshak Jewelers, Central Wisconsin's engagement ring leader. We've got great choices for you. And when she sees the sizzling fire in her diamond, when she's hypnotized by its endless sparkles, when she marvels at how you knew to get her such a beautiful ring, well, she just might wonder, Who's smarter than who here? And that, my friend, makes for a wonderful marriage built on mutual admiration of all that makes you such a great couple. Stop by at Jim Kreshock Jewelers on Rib Mountain Drive. Nobody helps you say I do like we do.
What began in a 9th grade math class as a campaign to run for President of the United States turned into a successful video production company where we focus on making videos for the fun of it. We are Will 36 Studios, and what we do is simple. We make videos for fun, entertainment, and for you. With high-definition cameras, the most advanced processors, and powerful editing software, we have the ability to make your project absolutely stunning. Imagine the possibilities. Well, that's exactly what we'll do. That's our story. Do you have a story to tell? Tell it with us.
Welcome back to the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and
Tom wants to get to a show, so we're
that's right. I'm heading over to one of our advertisers back in the saddle, Rookie Sports Bar, for one of their great comedy nights this week.
Awesome.
And we got another one we're going to talk about in a couple segments. They got another big name coming in this week, Doug Stanhope. But
my manager didn't let me know they had booked me. So
anyway, time to get now to the Polito's Presents week number 5. Of the NFL. Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice. Stop on down Sunday for a game day specialty pizza, extra large specialty pizza. Order that, get that pre-ordered or garlic or cinnamon knots.
and they rock.
Exactly. 7 great locations right now. Stevens Point, Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids, Rothschild, La Crosse, Oshkosh, De Pere, and coming very, very soon to Green Bay. And also you want to make sure you stop down there for your birthday. If you haven't already done so, go to their website, become part of their birthday club. Get that glasses on so you can see what you're doing. All right, there we go. Get a free slice of pizza on your birthday. So, Joe, now it's time to get to week number 5. And I'm putting you on the spot right now. You got no time. We're starting things off. Kansas City, 4-0, going to 3-1 Tennessee. Tennessee without Jake Locker. Locker could be gone for the year, at least gone for quite a bit. So Ryan Fitzpatrick taking over there at quarterback.
Yeah, maybe he has a resurrection out of Buffalo, you know.
All right, next up.
When they anointed, remember when they anointed him?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
He's smart.
Oh,
he's a Harvard kid. But anyway, Baltimore next up against Miami. Miami coming off that Monday night loss. So
Miami's going to win that game. Baltimore's struggling right now. They don't have a team identity, and rough times for the Harbaugh brothers this year.
Perfect segue when you said rough times. We have Jacksonville going up against St. Louis. 1-7 combined.
Up against Notre Dame?
That would be close.
You know what? I'm going to...
No. It's always the argument.
Is it at St. Louis?
It's at St. Louis.
Yeah, I'll take St. Louis.
All right. New England, your worst 4-0 team, going up against Cincinnati at 2-2 in Cincy. Is this where...
This is where they lose.
Get the first loss?
Yeah, they're going to be doing some extra work here at Cincinnati this week.
All right.
To get them ready.
And speaking of possibly getting a loss, Seattle, your best team, you had ranked number 1. Tough place to play in Indianapolis, going to play in the Dome.
Yeah, Seattle will lose that game. They're not real good on the road. They're having real hard time on the road. And, you know, it's well documented throughout the league right now that when Seattle goes on the road, something changes. The dynamics of that team change, and they're having a rough time.
Well, and Seattle's known, you know, with the 12th man, when you're there, the loud, the crazy crowd stuff.
And what I don't get. It's the 12th man. But it's the 12th man for all 22 players.
It is, but it's timing when you need it. When you need it. When you need to have an offensive play, they'll quiet down for you. When the other team needs it, the volume goes up. Yes. Next up, Detroit at 3-1, going to Green Bay, coming off the bye, and that's one thing you really want to watch here now with these bye weeks. Teams coming off, extra week to prepare.
Exactly. Well,
rest.
I'd be a fool. You know, we don't really know who Green Bay is going to have all back by the end of this week.
True.
because we are recording on Tuesday. But I'm going to go with Green Bay.
Well, definitely.
Detroit, Chicago, they're all right teams. They've started like this before. Same thing with Denver. Denver's going to end up 10-6. You heard it here first. Peyton Manning's already almost thrown 8,000 attempts in his career. Brett Favre did 8,800 total.
Manning doesn't look bad right now.
Don't they have? They should start an attempts.
Hey, you actually watch
computer.
They actually talk. Manning watches his throws in practice. Right. He counts them to make sure he doesn't overdo it.
That's what I'm saying. But you can't count your throw. I mean, you can count him in the NFL. I mean, his arm's going to get tired. I'll mark my word. 4 games left to go in the season. He's going to get tired.
Okay.
He throws a lot of passes.
But they might already be 11-1 at that point, so they already get past your record.
Well, then I'm close.
All right, let's go with another nice matchup here. We got New Orleans 4-0 leading the NFC South, going against the NFC North, tied for the lead, the Chicago Bears in Chicago. Does the Saints get their first loss?
Saints will lose.
Okay.
Yep.
And we have Philadelphia at 1-3 going against the Giants at 0-4. Can the Giants finally get off the schneid and get their first win?
3-1.
1-3. 1-3 for Philadelphia, 0-4 for the Giants.
ESPN, their stats are pretty bogus lately too. Yeah, I think New York is going to come off the schneid on this one.
Okay.
That's a border rivalry, and there's a lot of history between those two teams, and they're playing in the city of friendly love, right?
No, it's in New York.
Oh.
So it's the city's so nice they named it twice.
I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go with Philly.
You're taking the team on the road. All right. I don't know why. Mark it down. Last week he changed his mind and took the Saints. So there you go.
Exactly.
Get all over the Giants. Anyway, Carolina at Arizona next up here. Carolina coming off the bye week.
Carolina will win that game.
All right. Got a matchup in the AFC West. We got San Diego at Oakland. San Diego 2-2. Oakland 1-3.
I'm hoping they're going to have Pryor back there. They're not.
Pryor looks like
they don't give Flynn a chance. That's bugging me. He gets out there for what? 1 game, and they're like, "That's why you're never starting. That's why you can't beat anyone else." Well,
when you don't have
get your legs under you,
and when you don't have a healthy Darren McFadden, he's not going to be around this week either. So
and he actually did well for the first half, and then he started throwing the ball to the wrong colored jersey.
All right. So your pick is?
I'm going with San Diego.
San Diego. All right. We have Denver against Dallas. 4-0 Denver going on the road again. Another road team at 4-0 against 2-2 Dallas.
The Orange Crush is going down.
Okay. And then we have Houston at San Francisco. Pair of 2-2 teams, and I think both these teams really.
San Fran is losing. There's something going on in that organization too. Even though they put it together this week, but
that was against St. Louis.
I know exactly, but they have yet to run that pistol. They've run the read option, but I haven't seen them run the pistol yet. But I haven't watched every play of the game either. So.
All right, and then we go to the Monday night contest. The New York Jets 2-2 against the 1-3 Atlanta Falcons. Talk about a team that needs a win.
Back to him, behind the back pass. With Geno Smith? Wasn't that with Geno Smith?
You'll see it here. We showed it. Don't worry. Yeah, Geno. I don't know if it was a pass, but it was a...
was he trying to dribble it? Maybe he got confused.
I don't know.
Obviously, I am going with Jets and
Atlanta. There you go. Okay. So, according to your picks, when all is said and done after this week, the Kansas City Chiefs will be the only remaining 5-0 team.
5-0 team.
All right. That's great. There we go. Hey, I want to mention real quick here, new sponsor also coming in here, Saloons and Spoons, the newspaper, magazine. Great picture.
All your bar and restaurant humor. Your
pictures and jokes.
Anything to read.
So, and you want to know what's going on around the area and stuff?
Well, there's great stuff in there.
There is. Check it out.
Yeah.
Most bars and restaurants around the area, you can get a copy, check it out, and
yeah.
Gene's got us all set up, and we'll continue.
I love some of the stuff in there.
There's some great.
Post some stuff on Facebook.
I have a brother-in-law that we had to send it to him down in Florida because he loved to go through each month, just to read through all the jokes and the pictures and stuff. So check it out, Saloons and Spoons, your newspaper magazine, and
Saloons and Spoons of Central Wisconsin.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a short break here. You're watching the Fantasy King Sports Hour. Short one.
We'll keep it.
All right. We'll be right back.
How's it going, guys? Kevin from Polito's Pizza here. Back with another tailgate pizza of the week. Last time we did a CBR for you guys. Today we're going to be doing the chicken quesadilla. Dough stretched out. We'll try that move at home. Some mozzarella cheese. Bacon. Some diced chicken. Jalapenos. And then we're gonna let this cook for about 10 minutes. Minutes later, cut it into 8 slices and serve it with a side of sour cream. But no tailgate party is complete without some wings. So we got a side of our pineapple barbecue wings as well. And that's what I'm eating for the game, guys.
And don't forget about Polito's Pizza at your next field trip, birthday, or big event.
Welcome back to the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and
Bojo's Sports Ball and Grill.
All right, Joe, time now for our high school fantasy football Kings, top performers for week number 6. We're really getting down there. We get some teams starting to qualify for the playoffs and some more big performances out there.
Cheaters.
There you
I
go.
remember. Actually, they're legit. All right.
You can finally read something. There.
Yeah, no. My first high school fantasy king is Moki's quarterback, Zach Ryan.
Pyan. That is correct.
I better get better class. Ran for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns, plus threw for 147 yards and another score in a shutout. 36-0 over Onalaska.
All right. I start off with Amherst running back Connor Zableski. Carried the ball 13 times and 135 yards, 3 touchdowns. Falcons got a homecoming victory over Manawa, 55-6.
Manawa.
Yes.
My next high school fantasy is Merrill's quarterback Nick Peterson. Threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for 2 more as the Blue Jays blow away Ashland, 49-6.
Okay. I'm going to go to Iola, Scandinavia, wide receiver Isaac Lashaw, maybe? I apologize if I'm blowing that name. Lashaw, thank you. 4 catches, but made the most of it. 147 yards and 3 touchdowns. The T-Birds got a 54-12 win over Wittenberg-Burnhamwood.
That's outstanding.
Big.
Lashaw.
All right. I'll believe you.
And right here, 9 miles down the road from my last high school fantasy king, Marathon's running back Ethan Seubert ran all over Tomahawk. Sorry to hear about that. My buddy John Larson up there is the head coach, and he put up 216 yards, 5 touchdowns to keep the Red Raiders undefeated in the Merriwood Conference in a victory, 53-8.
All right, and I got a couple of running backs here that went head-to-head and had big games here as my final 2 fantasy kings. I'm going with Westfield back Alex Slowey. He put up 174 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was matched by Nakusa's Colton Kukulka, who had 117 yards and 3 more scores. Kukulka's Papermakers got the victory, 36-34. Did I say that right?
Sounded right.
Sound right? Okay. All right. Well, hey, now it's time for our Bojo Sports Bar and Grill trivia question. Before we get to that, Joe, I want you to let everybody know what's going on here down at Bojo's. I know you said you didn't get the chance to see Hyde, but I heard it was rocking down here.
It was awesome. I got to, check in a little bit from the eye in the sky, but yeah, it turned out really good. Badger game, not so much, but it was a lot of fun to get the pregame going here. And then I took it over last Saturday at 9 o'clock, or about 10 o'clock after the game, 10:30. really rocked it out. But every Sunday we have Packer games, free brats, free Jello shots during each touchdown. We also do that for Badger games now, red ones.
All right.
Red Jello shots, beer discounts during Packer games, $2 pints. Also, our outstanding soup and salad bar every Tuesday through Friday, $6.95, all you can eat. 6 homemade soups and a salad bar that will make your mouth water.
All right.
And then Monday Night Football, 25-cent wings every Monday night during the Monday Night Football game.
Stop on down here to Bojo's.
Absolutely. Where else can you go?
Exactly.
All these TVs, crystal clear.
Big, huge TVs.
Right.
Huge. You want to see replay of the play? You want to see if the ball's a fumble or not? You're not going to miss it here.
That was my buddy's nickname in high school.
Huge
John
TV?
Larson. No, time out.
Oh.
Huge.
All right.
Breath.
We don't need the story on that, do we? I don't know.
Doritos.
Anyway, let's get to this, our last week's question. First of all, I screwed up. So that's 3. That's 3.
Stand corrected.
I said name the first 3 Green Bay Packers to be put in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There were 4.
The inaugural Hall of Fame. Correct.
The inaugural Hall of Fame in 1963. There were 4. It was Curly Lambeau, Carl Hubbard, Don Hudson, and Johnny Blood McNally. Or McAnally, I'm sorry. Is it McAnally? McNally, okay. I don't know. As long as you got 3 of the 4, we're going to give you credit for it.
Yes.
Does that sound good? We'll call it right? And
Yeah, of course.
do you got a winner for us?
Yeah, I got it in here, and I'm trying to look it up right now. Give me a little time.
Well, hey, as the drum roll's going and stuff like that.
Let's talk about Manning a little bit.
Well,
he's getting old. He is getting old. I mean, I think they do it in baseball. They do a pitch count. They got to start doing one in the NFL. I'm serious, especially when these guys get older.
Yeah, he's getting tired of throwing those touchdown passes. There's 16 of them already.
Yeah, how many did he throw last 4 games last year? Not a whole half of it, but a lot. There we go.
You got it? All right.
Yep. And our trivia question winner was Andy Bethel.
There you go.
Andy Bethel. He's our trivia contest winner. He wins 2 fish fries.
Right here at Bojo's.
Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill. Stop on down, pick them up. If you want to come in on a Friday, you can use them the same night.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Next week, you could be the winner. All you have to do is answer this week's trivia question.
Are you going to have the answer right this week?
I'll try at least.
Maybe you should check this with stats.
Well, if I wouldn't have to worry about, don't come up with Packer trivia all the time for you. But anyway, all you do, find the answer, send it to Bojo's Facebook.
The only stat that anyone recalls is what, Tom?
That they were in 4 Super Bowls.
Correct. Lost 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, all right. Anyway. Here's the question. Let's get to it. The Green Bay Packers play the Detroit Lions this week. They have a pretty good record overall against the Lions. They're 93, 65, and 7 all time. 2-part question this week. What team do the Packers have the best all-time head-to-head regular season record against? And what team do the Packers have the worst all-time head-to-head record against?
Best record against?
Best and worst percentage-wise.
Percentage-wise.
There you go.
All right. That's interesting. I think that's key. Percentage.
Oh, well, obviously, yes. You got to go for the winning percentage, or losing percentage for that matter. Find out the answer. Send your answer to Bojo's Sports Bar Facebook page. Private message it there, and you could be one of the winner. Be the winner. Draw from
the winner.
There you go.
As long as we have the right answer.
I think I have this one. I think I made sure this time.
All right.
But then again, I could be wrong.
Hopefully, you didn't have to calculate the percentages.
No, it was there for me, so I was all set. Now it's time for our NFL collision of the week, and Joe, I get you have an argument. You didn't see the collision, so we couldn't give it to the one you wanted.
You look at this traffic accident, or you look at a traffic accident, and you see a pile of metal. You know it was a great collision.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with Tennessee defensive tackle Carl Klug with his sack of New York Jets Geno Smith. Geno kind of did, like you said before, the ball behind his back thing. So Klug got the sack, the forced fumble. He recovered the fumble in the end zone for the touchdown. And by the way, he was born in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So there you go.
There you go. So you always got to do a Packer connection. I love it.
Well, it's a Wisconsin connection for you.
Absolutely.
I wanted it. And actually, before you get to your Wisconsin connection, I wanted to give it to Jim Leonard for his hit, but he got flagged for it, and I couldn't find a video of it. So,
yeah.
He had a big hit.
Should have called
another
NFL
ex-Badger.
I'll guarantee you they had a copy of it.
I'm sure he's going to be fined for that one.
Mine
But
is J.J. Watt.
All right.
And going back in the old days. Blood dripping down the face right into his mouth, not even wincing.
Actually, telling people who are trying to fix it, get away from me, leave me alone. And
awesome.
Chuck
Running
Cecil.
down his face.
Chuck Cecil leg. Yep.
Cecilish.
That's a new word.
Cecilish.
That became a word in the 80s. Yeah. Cecilish, officially added to the Webster's Wisconsin Dictionary.
Absolutely. Yeah. So anyway, that was my collision. You couldn't see it because he's always, the guy's all over the field. He's incredible.
He's had a great for a couple years. And
that was just like, the Mud Bowl pictures and stuff. Those are just great throwback. I mean, you don't see that much anymore in the NFL. They're usually all protected.
Well, and they said you don't get the mud, but you get the blood.
You know what? Yeah, but you know what's great? I want to see Watt come out with just a hunter's face mask. The one crossbones. They should go to that. They won't be leading with their heads anymore. They always like their faces.
All right. Well, there you go. Our collisions of the week. A couple of them there for us this week. So now I want to mention real quick before we talked about Rookie Sports Bar joining us here. They've had some great comedians throughout the years, national known comedians. Doug Stanhope going on this week. Couple weeks coming up on October 17th, Thursday. Their normal third Thursday of the month. They always have their comedy night coming up. Dustin Diamond, Screech from Saved by the Bell is going to be their headliner. So you want to check that out. You want to head down to Rookies, and he had a few problems, and should be could be an interesting show. So you want to check.
Might want to video it. He might go off on a Kramer rant.
You never know. You never know what could happen when you talk about Screech, I guess.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. But
you want to check it out. Comedy night down at Rookies. It's a lot of fun down there, and
I've been down there before, and it's a lot of fun.
We'll probably be taking the show on the road maybe a couple times this year, and stopping in there and seeing
the. You know what? We might be we're going to be taking it down the road here a little bit.
And we got to go see.
We're going to go down to the racetrack for the 525.
There you go. Outside.
I already talked to Ralph for it.
Beautiful.
We're going down to the track. We're going to do it inside there.
We're going to go over. We're going to go see Mary over at Post Road in a little bit and stuff. And so it's got a lot of fun stuff coming up. So, hey, let's take a short break. You're watching the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and
Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill.
We'll be right back.
Go big with Polito's Big Slice. Polito's Pizza has been family owned and operated since 2007. With 32 specialty pizzas to choose from, Polito's has your slice. Locations in Stevens Point, Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids, Rothschild, Oshkosh, La Crosse, Green Bay, and De Pere. Whether it's a pregame meal or a halftime snack, make it Polito's. Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice.
There's a saying that goes like this: a smart man marries a smarter woman. That's right. Now, why do you want to marry a smarter woman? Well, of course, the reasons are obvious. She's so smart, she sees your heart better than anyone ever has. She's so smart, she knows how committed you really are. Yes, she's so smart, she sees how much you love her, even when it's hard sometimes for you to find the words. And not only does a smart man marry a smarter woman, well, that smart man buys her an engagement ring from Jim Kreshock Jewelers, Central Wisconsin's engagement ring leader. We've got great choices for you. And when she sees the sizzling fire in her diamond, when she's hypnotized by its endless sparkles, when she marvels at how you knew to get her such a beautiful ring, well, she just might wonder, who's smarter than who here? And that, my friend, makes for a wonderful marriage built on mutual admiration of all that makes you such a great couple. Stop by at Jim Kreshock Jewelers on Rib Mountain Drive. Nobody helps you say I do like we do.
Welcome back to the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and click.
Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill.
All right, Joe, you got that voice ready to go?
I do. Here we are,
tuning up,
rolling right along.
Week number 5 injury report. Make sure you check out our Facebook page if you haven't already done so. Facebook.com/TheFantasyKing. Each and every week on Sunday mornings, we go through, see the injuries, see the inactive lists. We make sure you get the most up-to-date injuries, but we do tape this on Tuesday. As of right now, this is how we see the injuries go.
Yes. However, before I was rudely interrupted, we have to take care of the buys first.
Oh, I'm sorry. The buys, yes. I think there's a team that who's that first buy team?
That looks like a college team. Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, and Washington all have buys. Make sure you don't pick players. Actually, you can't even. If you go to certain fantasy sites, you can't select them anyway. They're off limits. But anyway, we're going into injuries. So Quarterbacks. Tennessee's Jake Locker, 4 to 8 weeks with a hip injury. It appears that didn't pop out, so Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to get the start. If you've got Tennessee's Jake Locker, you might want to be picking someone else up.
Dropping
them. And Oakland's Terrell Pryor is probable with a concussion because Matt Flynn is Errol Flynn right now. Running back, Indy's Ahmad Bradshaw. Neck is questionable. Green Bay's running back, Eddie Lacy, concussion, and James Franklin, concussion. They are both probable. James Starks as well. His knee is questionable. New Orleans, Mark Ingram. He's got a toe injury. It's questionable. Oakland's Darren McFadden, hamstring. Atlanta, Steven Jackson. I'm not going back on the field until I'm 100%. Jackson. Wide receivers, Tennessee, Kenny Britt. Ribs, he's got a probable.
Talk about a guy that doesn't want to play.
Yeah, no doubt. Something like, what's his name down in Tampa Bay, the quarterback right now. Yeah. Baltimore's Brandon Stokely. He's got a groin. He's questionable. Jacksonville's Justin Blackman. Pretty soon they're going to have a team. Oh, wait.
But he's back.
I know. But wait a minute. They don't have a team. Yes, he's back after suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got everything going on down there. New England's Danny Amendola, groin, questionable, 4th week in a row. New Orleans, Lance Moore, hand, he is questionable. Dallas's Austin Miles or Miles Austin.
Whichever one you want to flip it.
He is questionable. And New York Jets, Antonio Holmes, his hamstring, he is questionable as well. Right into the tight ends we're going. Anthony Pisano, ankle, he's questionable. Kansas City, if you didn't know that. Jacksonville's Mercedes Lewis, who threw up a ghost egg for me last week, or the week before. He's got a calf problem. He is doubtful. New England's Rob Gronkowski now has a back problem.
Yes, it was the forearm. Now it's the back, and his dad says he can't go yet.
Right.
Daddy says no.
Time to move out. And Rob, time to cut the umbilical cord.
Stay out of Vegas and buy yourself an apartment.
And don't be dancing around. Right. And Green Bay's Jermichael Finley, concussion. He is questionable. Kickers.
No kickers this week.
No kickers.
Just some defenses.
Some defensives that could have some serious implications. Green Bay's linebacker Clay Matthews, hopefully. He's questionable, but hopefully he got that rehab because he didn't get to go home on the bye week.
The hamstring thing is a tough thing, though. You never know because it's naggy.
He just had he tweaked it and it wasn't a full pull. That's the big difference. San Diego's D. Dwight Freeney out indefinitely with a quad.
He has been placed on the IR. He's done.
Denver is DB Champ Bailey.
Chump
is. You didn't have a study.
There wasn't? Okay.
His foot, he is questionable to return. Houston's linebacker, Brian Cushing. Concussion is questionable.
He had a big hit, too. There was another big hit in that game, too.
You know what? These guys that are getting the big hits, they're the ones getting the concussions. San Francisco's linebacker, Patrick Willis, groin, and Nnamdi Asomugha has a knee injury. They're both questionable. And that wraps up the injuries for this week. Keep an eye on them if they were here a week or two ago, too, because they might not be up to full speed on all of those, which, you know, who was it? Just was 80% last week. It was, I don't know, somebody was 80% and they were playing. It might have been.
I can't remember. I know you.
Like
but I also want to mention one other one before we put the report together. I did just catch it just before we went on the air. Malcolm Floyd.
Coco the monkey from Saturday Night Live.
Hey, Coco, George, T-Bone. Anyway, another injury out there. Malcolm Floyd, wide receiver for San Diego, also placed on the season-ending injured reserve. So if you have him. Now, how about a couple of likes and dislikes here for week number 5? Starting out at quarterback. I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm going with Eli Manning this week. Giants going up against Philadelphia. The Eagles are 31st versus the pass, and the Giants are really starting to hear it from the fans. I think he finally steps one up and puts up some big numbers.
Yeah.
And Tony Romo did well for me last week. Goes up against Denver, the Broncos. They're 30th versus the pass, and the reason they're 30th versus the pass, everybody has to throw against them because they're behind. I think he puts up some good fantasy numbers here.
Junk numbers.
Yep, exactly. And for that matter, let's go with Peyton Manning because his arm's not tired yet. Going up against Dallas. How can you leave him out of this list right now the way he's performing? Dislikes. I'm going Colin Kaepernick this week. San Francisco going against Houston. Gave Russell Wilson a hard time last week, even though he did run the ball a little bit. Houston's number 1 versus the pass right now. And then Carson Palmer, Arizona going up against Carolina. The Panthers are number 2 versus the pass and number 1 in points allowed on the defensive side of the ball. So A couple running backs I do like this week. LaShawn McCoy for Philadelphia. The Giants haven't stopped anybody against the run. They're 28th.
He's starting to run a lot like Barry Sanders.
He can move anything, and he can catch the ball. And he can catch the ball out of the backfield. And that's one of those things. That's like
Woodhead, wasn't he running the ball good the other day?
Next up, I'm going Chris Johnson for Tennessee going up against Kansas City. Locker out there. CJ 2000 has to finally step up and have a big game, so I think he might be there. Dislikes this week. DeMarco Murray for Dallas going against Denver. I expect Dallas to be behind in this ball game. I'm going to have to throw the ball a lot. I don't think he gets the carries. And then also D'Angelo Williams, Carolina going against Arizona. The Cardinals, number 2 in the league versus the run.
Yeah, I agree with those.
Wow, that's a lot of agreement so far.
I don't know what's up with me.
All right, how about at the wide receiver segment here? All right, well, I'm going Victor Cruz. Because he had a big week last week. I think he finally gets he had a breakout week. I think
Eli's got to throw it to Sunday.
Exactly, and Hakeem Nicks definitely doesn't want to play, so he's going to throw it to Cruz. Going to stick with Des Bryant, going with the combo with Romo. Maybe garbage, but it's still fantasy points, so we'll take it.
Hey, find a New York.
Garbage? There you go. Junkyard. All right. And finally, Torrey Smith for Baltimore going against Miami. The Dolphins are 25th in the league versus the pass. And another guy that had a big performance last week. Had 160 yards.
Miami is just a few little tweaks away from being really good. Really good.
Defensively, they look like a lot more than a few tweaks.
Yeah.
Drew and company took care of them pretty good on Monday night. Other dislikes this week. Larry Fitzgerald. Lane Kiffin, exactly. Nothing like getting back from your job, losing again. Getting to the airport at 4 a.m. and say
you're fired.
Get away.
Can I get my?
Hey,
I need my briefcase.
At least they flew him back to Southern California. They didn't just say, hey, find a.
Bus driver was told to take off.
All right, so Larry Fitzgerald and the other guy, Nate Washington, Tennessee, without Locker. Yeah, he had a big week last week. Kansas City third versus the pass. I think he struggles a little bit.
Wasn't that the name of the guy, Nate Washington, in Coming to America? Essential Chocolate?
I don't think so.
Washington. Give Ron welcome.
the movie references are flying here today. Well, it's time. Well, we're going to take a short break, and then it's time for our expert picks.
Expert picks.
If you saw where Joe ended up last week, it wasn't quite. He wasn't feeling well, I don't think, or something. Huh?
No, I just made a small, minor miscalculation. Hey, if I would have had a quarterback, you were going down.
Joe, you finished 94th out of 97 people. 94th. You were 84th going into Monday night. You ended up 94th. Anyway, we'll take a short break and we'll get those picks. You're watching the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and 94th.
Everybody has a bad week. Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill.
At least he put a team in this week. We'll be right back. On game day, stop down at Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill. Watch the NFL ticket on one of 12 big screen TVs, plus enjoy free brats during Packer games and free wings during Monday Night Football. Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill, cold beer and warm company. Located off Interstate 39 and County Road NN, right next to Subway. Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill. On game day, don't get flagged for a small slice violation. Go big with Polito's Big Slice. Here's the competition. Here's the Polito's Big Slice. With 32 specialty pizzas to choose from, Polito's has your slice. Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice. Come on down to Post Road Pub. Your NFL, Major League Baseball, and NASCAR headquarters, plus a whole lot more. Darts, pool, shuffleboard, foosball, and a whole lot of fun. Follow Post Road Pub on Facebook. Post Road Pub, 1211 Post Road in Plover, 715-344-9800.
At the Post Road Pub!
I'm the king.
I am the king.
I'm the king.
I am the king.
No, I'm the king. Hi, I'm Tom Hatfield. Join myself and Joe Nienow every Sunday for the Fantasy King Sports Hour.
Every week we'll take a look at the NFL and help you with your fantasy football action.
We'll have our own fantasy contest, trivia questions, and a whole lot of fun.
Don't forget our weekly high school football fantasy kings.
Plus, you'll never know who might run by.
Are you going to be this week's Fantasy King?
Go big with Polito's Big Slice. Polito's Pizza has been family owned and operated since 2007. With 32 specialty pizzas to choose from, Polito's has your slice. Locations in Stevens Point, Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids, Rothschild, Oshkosh, La Crosse, Green Bay, and De Pere. Whether it's a pregame meal or a halftime snack, make it Polito's. Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice.
Welcome back to the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and
Mojo Sports Bar and Grill.
all right, Joe. Time now to go over our experts' picks, and we kind of do it a little bit different than the actual contest because, well, we don't.
Flex players.
Yeah, we have a couple flex players, and we can't see them yet. We don't see their values until Thursday night. We do the show early, so we're just going to give you some key players that we like this week. So start us off here. Who do you have as your quarterback? Surprise.
Aaron Rodgers going up against Detroit.
All right, and I'm going to go with.
Coming off a bye. Green Bay has historically been, like McCarthy, been good after the bye.
All right, well, I'm going to go with Peyton Manning because he's been just really good. That's easy enough.
Peyton, do you feel that? Do you feel that big hug Tom will give you?
Exactly. He'll really drop one now.
I know.
All right. My first running back, I'm going LaShawn McCoy, Philadelphia, going up against the Giants.
Ditto.
I knew it. That's why I had to jump on it before.
I knew it.
So I'll let you go the second.
Second one, I'm going with Marshawn Lynch, Seattle.
This is where I'm going to get myself in trouble because I'm going Chris Johnson, and taking a little. Go Tennessee against Kansas City.
Twitter.
No, I don't tweet.
Riding his fans hard.
I don't tweet.
It's twat.
I don't.
I don't know what it's called. Anyway, no, he's riding his fans because they're like, hey, man, I picked you. You're on my fantasy team. He's like, hey, if you really think I'm worried about you as a manager of your fantasy team, he's like going all over.
Hey, just perform anyway. I don't care fantasy or not. How about getting a W?
Yes.
There you go. All right. My first wide receiver, I'm going Victor Cruz with the Giants, going up against Philly.
Going with Jonesy of the Packers.
Hey, I've ridden him a few times. And
I'll tell you something. It's the game when I don't think that I should take him and I take him. Or I don't take him, and he does well, and now I took him, so I'm probably SOL.
So I shouldn't use him on my regular fantasy leagues?
You're probably, no, I would.
All right.
Because the corners are soft over at Detroit. And then I'm going with Megatron in Detroit. Big guy, we got little corners, little people in.
See, it does seem like that's where Green Bay's had some problems with going against the bigger receivers and stuff. I'm going to go with Torrey Smith, Baltimore, going up against Miami's defense then.
That's a good one, Tom.
All right, well, thank you.
No problem.
And tight ends, I believe we agree.
Tight end.
Tight end.
I'm going to go with Gonzalez, Atlanta, going up against
the New York Jets. Because I have it right here because I agree with you there.
Bottom of the barrel here.
Jets. Monday Night Football. We'll go with Tony Gonzalez also. And I'm going to go with my kicker in that same game. Go with Matt Bryant. Another in the dome.
In the dome.
Against the Jets.
I am going to go with Sebastian Janikowski.
Big leg. Big leg.
Yes, big leg. And they're not, they're driving, but they're not getting, they're not getting touchdowns. They're getting field goals.
Sure.
Just like, we just did that the other night. They were in the red zone 6 times and they came around with 1 touchdown. I believe that was Atlanta.
How about the free kick we saw? Was that Thursday night San Francisco game? Yeah, should have been the other. St. Louis had the leg with Zerloin, but yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people don't even know about that rule, but the fair catch. Go ahead and free kick it.
Yep.
And then your defense.
Green Bay, they're stout on the run, and I think they're going to get to Stafford. Stafford is one of those middle-range quarterbacks yet. I don't think he's proven himself to be very consistent yet.
Even though I did take Chris Johnson, Tennessee, my defense, I'm still going with Kansas City here, going against that Tennessee team. I just think they're going to have a hard time throwing the ball with Fitzpatrick in at quarterback instead of Locker. So
it's amazing what a coach can do. Andy Reid.
He's done a great job so far.
Payton's back. Some great things going on with those new coaches, or not new coaches, but coaches back, and coaches fired and rehired, and you never know.
Okay. Well, once again, let's get to our Bojo Sports Bar trivia question of the week. What teams do the Green Bay Packers have the best all-time head-to-head regular season record against, and what team do the Packers have the worst all-time head-to-head regular season record against?
I'll give you a little hint here. Just a little one. They've had to have played them often.
No.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying, but you're wrong, but you're saying. Anyway, we'll leave it at that.
Well, I mean, there's got to be.
It's about a percentage. It's about percentage. But it's not somebody. I guarantee it's not somebody that's 1-0 or 2-0. They've played quite a few times, but it's not a divisional team where they played 150 times either. So, anyway, all you have to do is get your answers, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers say. Send your trivia answer to the Bojo Sports Bar Facebook page. That is Facebook/Bo. Has it hyphen, Joe? Just
Bojo's.
Bojo's.
Sports Bar.
Okay, there you go. Send them a private message to the site. Get your answer. One of the correct answers will be drawn, and you could win a Bojo's gift certificate for free Friday fish fry.
Feeling a little frumpy right now, Tom.
Frumpy. Even after me saying free.
Game face.
Going after them. Speaking of game faces, get into the contest. Fantasy911.com. $50 free NFL free roll. You check that out. 9 different people win cash each week.
I actually just stopped down to a local high school practice, and when they end their last practice before their game, and listen to all the
hype and.
Oh yeah, I'd give my arm to be in your spot from the coach. It was something else.
All right, well, that's going to do it here for week number 5. You've been watching the Fantasy King Sports Hour, brought to you by Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice, and
Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill.
Enjoy the games. On game day, stop down at Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill. Watch the NFL ticket on one of 12 big screen TVs, plus enjoy free brats during Packer games and free wings during Monday Night Football. Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill, cold beer and warm company. Located off Interstate 39 and County Road NN, right next to Subway. Bojo's Sports Bar and Grill. On game day, don't get flagged for a small slice violation. Go big with Polito's Big Slice. Here's the competition. Here's a Polito's Big Slice. With 32 specialty pizzas to choose from, Polito's has your slice. Polito's Pizza, home of the Big Slice.